It's Friday, September 15th, 2017. I'm your host, Sarah Beal. Thank you for joining us today. On today's show, we will find out about this weekend's Hyannis Open Streets with event organizer Jane Walsh. Then we will chat with Assistant Recreation Director John Gleason. He will give us an update on fall recreation program signups. And finally, we will learn safe shellfish handling from aquaculture specialist Devin Harrington. But first, let's get a look at today's top headlines. The Department of Public Works will be performing roadway improvements on Osterville West Barnstable Road in Marston's Mills between Route 28 and Flint Street, beginning on Monday, September 18th. Improvements include milling of the existing roadway surface and installation of new asphalt pavement. Work is expected to be completed by Friday, September 22nd, weather permitting. Vehicle access during construction operations will be restricted to one lane. Motorists are advised to seek alternate routes to avoid the construction work. Operations will start promptly at 9 a.m. and run until 3 p.m., after which time traffic will be opened back up onto both lanes of the roadway. As always, please slow down and use extreme caution when traveling through the road construction areas and follow posted safety signs. The town will hold a special election next Tuesday, September 19th. All polling locations will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. This vote will decide how the town will pay for the proposed new Cape Cod Regional Technical High School. For more information on this vote and the vote that will take place on October 24th, please visit www.townofbarnstable.us and click through to the Q&A located under notifications on the homepage. There will also be a separate ballot on September 19th in Precinct 12 for the town councilor race. The town is looking for your feedback regarding existing and future use of town fields and courts. The Department of Public Works and the Recreation Division are holding an informational session regarding the town-wide comprehensive field study. The informational session will be held on September 21st at 5:30 p.m. at the Barnstable Senior Center. The meeting will include a presentation on the project and an opportunity for questions and comments. You can also take an online survey by going to www.townofbarnstable.us and click on Barnstable Sports Recreation Facilities Master Plan Survey under notifications. Up next, we will hear from Jane Walsh about this week's Hyannis Open Streets.
I'm Melissa Chartrand. I'm here with Jane Walsh, who is an artist, owner of Redfish Bluefish, a longtime town of Barnstable resident, been on Main Street Hyannis since you were very young, working and owning your own shop, and very involved in Hyannis Open Streets. That's what we're here to talk about today. Hi, Jane.
Hi.
So it is an exciting time of year. This is the 1-year anniversary of Hyannis Open Streets, but yet the 5th time the event's taken place.
That's right.
Have you pictured that this is where it would be when you first started it?
I hoped and hoped and hoped. I'm really happy it's come the way it has. Yeah.
So tell us, what was the genesis behind it?
So growing up here, it was a lot more festive back in the 80s. There were street festivals happening all the time. We used to close the street a lot more often, and it was really a great way for families to come out and get to see each other and
Sure.
just hang out. And so I just thought we needed to bring that back. So I found this model that worked. It's an international model. It's done all over the world, where they close the street off to traffic for various amounts of time, during the year, and they have had great success with it all over the world. So I brought the model here to Hyannis and ran it by a few people, and we got it going on.
So what type of activities take place? It's, again, the street it's open streets. It's closed to vehicle traffic, but open to lots of activity.
Right, so we have hired bands in the past. We've got some music playing right in the middle of the street. I've got Trevor the Juggler, who comes and entertains. Mostly, though, it's just the people who fill the street, the residents and the visitors who will come and just walk or skateboard or bicycle and just come and hang out and see people they haven't seen in a long time.
It's one thing that I noticed when I came to the last event, when it was so positive, is that cell phones were away.
Oh,
and
yeah.
people were actually talking to one another.
Right.
And experiencing that. And how about as far as the merchants go? There's a lot of merchant involvement to make this event a success.
Right, so the merchants have been very supportive. Basically, the permit allows us to take over the whole sidewalk, so merchants can bring merchandise out onto the sidewalk. They can participate any way they want as far as having musicians out in front of their store. People have had face painters out in front of their store. It really brings thousands of people to their door. So it's a great opportunity also for them to showcase what they have.
Sure.
Yeah.
And some of the other activities, I mean, a lot of things are free.
Everything's free.
And as you mentioned, the entertainment, there's sometimes free giveaways.
Yes.
And what about screenings and things along those lines on the health aspect? Because this also is promoting healthy lifestyles.
Right. So in the past, we've had Red Cross on board. YMCA will be here this year. We had the Bloodmobile, letting people see how they have their little mobile unit. You can go in and take a tour. I don't think that you can donate at that time, but they were here. So there have been some people here to help give information about being healthy.
A lot of healthy education, arts and culture, entertainment. The event is September 17th, noon to 5. You have one in October as well.
Yes.
And I think also as this event continues to grow, you even have 2018 dates on the calendar.
We do. I don't have them handy, but September and October and April and May are the months.
What is it that you'd like to see going forward that hasn't been here yet that you'd like to see happen?
Just more and more people, really. More and more people.
Great.
Yeah.
Where can our visitors find information on the event?
So we have a website, HyannisOpenStreets.com, and we also have a Facebook page, which is Hyannis Open Streets.
And let's give a shout out to those that make this event possible. I know there's so many sponsors, but the key players, you're very involved with the Greater Hyannis Civic Association.
Yes.
And who else as well, Jane?
So the Greater Hyannis Civic Association, the Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement District, and the Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce, we've all come together to make this event happen. And then we've got some wonderful sponsors like Cape Air, Fagawi Charities, the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod just came on board.
So it just shows the community spirit for what
Yeah.
you're doing. You're doing such good for the community.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Jane. For Jane Walsh, on behalf of Hyannis Open Streets, I'm Melissa Chartrand.
Coming up, we get an update from Assistant Recreation Director John Gleason, but first we talk with Natural Resource Officer and Aquaculture Specialist Devin Harrington. Here we go, Devin. Joining me now live on the phone is Devin Harrington. She's the Natural Resource Officer and Aquaculture Specialist for the town of Barnstable. Devin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah. Glad to talk to you guys.
Lots of stuff for us to talk about. Now, the first thing on our list is Barnstable Harbor marsh closures. Can you tell me what's going on with this?
Yes, so this is an annual closure mandated by the state, so it happens every year in the marshes of Barnstable Harbor. So what's going on is we have a high frequency of animals migrating, specifically birds in this area. So all those animals keep the marsh closed due to an excess amount of nutrients. So no shellfishing in the marshes of Barnstable Harbor, and this starts on September 15th.
Okay, so because the birds are migrating, is that maybe has to do with what exactly you said the nutrients, so is that?
Yeah, so nutrients, that's a nice way to say that they're just going to the bathroom a lot.
That's what I was trying to say without saying
There's a lot of species in the marsh, yes.
So it's best to not.
Nobody wants shellfish.
Yeah, nobody wants the shellfish that's been hanging out in that. So yeah, that makes sense. So this is happening, begins September 15th and it goes through December 15th.
Correct.
And then after that, the migration season is over and things open back up again.
Yep.
Okay, great. So, and also we wanted to discuss some safe shellfish handling for recreation shellfishers. You know, we have a lot of recreation shellfishing in the town of Barnstable. We want to make sure everyone's handling their shellfish properly and correctly so that they don't get sick. What can you tell us about this?
That is exactly what we want to do. So when people are handling these shellfish, what you want to do is go right at low tide, get the shellfish when they're first exposed. And as soon as you harvest them, you want to keep them cold and continue to keep them cold. So don't put them in a bucket and keep them in your trunk while you go to the grocery store. Keeping some coolers with ice packs or even ice. You don't want to keep the quahogs sitting in the melted ice. They don't really like the fresh water too much. And this is very important if you plan on eating your shellfish raw, because our waters are very warm during the summer, so that means there's an increased amount of bacteria. And the shellfish are filter feeders, so when they're taking in the plankton, they're taking in the bacteria too. So you keep them cold to kind of halt that growth of bacteria. So it's fine to, if you want to purge your shellfish, get the sand out of them, but make sure you're doing that in cold water, salt water in the fridge. Basements, garages, they're not cold enough. From a regulatory standpoint with the state and the federal government, commercial harvests of aquaculture products, they have to be kept at 45 degrees or below to stop all the bacterial growth.
So that's a good, also a good thing for recreation shellfishers to consider. I mean, you wouldn't go to the store and buy, oysters or clams or whatnot that haven't been stored properly. You want to think of it the same thing for your shellfish that you're harvesting yourself. You want to think of it the same way. Exactly,
yes. And, you wouldn't leave a steak out on the counter all day and then cook it for dinner. It's the same sort of thing. Shellfish are regulated just like milk and eggs. So if you look at it from that point, but it's also a good thing to mention if you want to cook your shellfish, that doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But you should still keep it cold even if you plan on cooking it.
Definitely. Now, what's out there right now? What's open as far as shellfishing goes? Quahogs, what else have we got?
Yeah, so you can go out right now and get some quahogs on the north side of town or the south side of town. West Bay and Katuitt Bay are open, and Barnstable Harbor is open. North Bay is closed during these hot summer months. And you can also get some steamers on both sides of town, and blue mussels are up in Barnstable Harbor, and those are a pretty cool species to get. And those are only on the north side. And we also have razor clams on the north side. So if you've ever had a fried clam strip, that is actually a razor clam.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. I always wondered what.
The poor little razor clams don't get a lot of credit. They come in that perfect straight package, and those are razor clams.
Oh, that's so cool. I just assumed they were clams without the belly, so that makes more sense that they're razor clams, which are getting a little bit more attention these days. You guys had a couple of razor clam classes over the winter. They're getting a little bit more out there, so that's great. Great to know that you can still go out and harvest them right now.
Yeah, we've definitely had some more people. It's kind of picked up over the year, which is great.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you can try out something different. We also just wanted to mention briefly that Oyster opening day is coming. It's still about a little under 2 months away, but it is coming. It's going to be November 1st. What can you tell us about opening day?
Opening day is going to be a lot of fun. It will be that first Wednesday of November. So yes, that's November 1st. I think the tide is later in the day. I think it's around like 6 p.m. or so. So, we won't have a lot of time before the sunset, just a kind of a peek at oysters. The limit is going to be a half of peck. And to reiterate, the sunset, you cannot shellfish past sunset.
Right. It's a little dangerous to be out there in the dark with no lights, and it's
just not safe. Not safe for the rec people, not safe for us. So we'd prefer if you guys did not do that.
Right. And a half peck is up to that first line on your basket. If you have a regular size shellfish basket, a half peck is the first line. I know a lot of people kind of forget that on the first day. They get really excited about getting as many oysters as they can, and all their hard work is for nothing because you end up taking some of their oysters from them. So remembering that it's that half peck.
Yes, you don't want us to scrape your peck basket, but we will definitely be down there hanging out with everyone and making sure everyone's sticking to the limits.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for filling us in on everything that you guys have going on. Let us know about the marsh closures and safe shellfish handling. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Evan. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
John, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
There's so much going on in recreation this time of year. We're getting into the fall season.
Absolutely.
And I know sign-up started, a week and a half ago about that?
Yep. Yeah, just after Labor Day weekend on that Wednesday, we started up with registrations. And people think, since summer's over, the chaos is over.
No.
We are busy all year long with different activities, and especially now with the recreation division taking on the youth center, there's going to be no downtime with the rinks and everything. So it's going to be a very busy fall.
Yeah, it's very busy. So there's a lot of different programs that people can sign their kids up for.
Yes.
But there are a few things that are full that we want to let people know about, so that they know that, okay, if they go to try to sign up for that at this point, it's too late. But there's plenty of other programs open.
Yeah, I mean, we have a chemistry class, a Lego class, which those seem to be over the past couple of years really popular. We're trying to diversify what we offer, and a lot of people are really into the chemistry type of classes. So those are full. We have a really good archery program that every year we seem to fill up, and that is full again this fall. We do offer it again in the spring. We have babysitting, another popular one. It fills up, and again, we offer that again multiple times during the year. So if you missed it this time, we're sorry you missed it, but we're going to offer it again.
Yep.
We have our 4th and 5th grade volleyball program that was full, and we have our K-1 soccer program that are full. So hopefully we'll offer those again at some other point, but we still have plenty of offerings that are still available and could use more kids in the classes.
Awesome. Good to know that there's a lot more going on. So there's also, the month of September is a very big month for all sorts of runs and walks and events at the town beaches. So I know there's some coming up this weekend, and there's some basically right through the end of September. Some of the beaches on the weekends are still going to be quite busy. Yeah,
so this Saturday at Craigville Beach, there's a Girly Girl Parts Run that raises money for ovarian cancer. And I know, speaking to the organizer, they've already raised a really good amount of money, and they're looking forward to having lots of people down at Craigville Beach. So in the area of Craigville Beach this Saturday, there'll be some runners out there, so you just need to be mindful of that. And then on Sunday, at Veterans Beach, there's an Alzheimer's walk, and there'll be people in and out of the Hyannis area and walking to raise money for that. There's a windsurfing tournament at Calmus Beach, which is world famous for the wind and windsurfers down there. So there's lots of things going on. I think there's also something going on in Barnstable Village with walking strides or something along that line of an event out of Barnstable Village. So different villages and different areas will be hit up with different events throughout the fall, but I don't think they're so big that they'll get in your way of trying to do what you need to do. Right.
Just be aware that these things might be going on, and just maybe be a little bit more cautious in the area, because there's going to be,
lots of runners or walkers.
You might be driving down by Craigville Beach thinking it's going to be nice and quiet, and you'll all of a sudden come around the corner and you'll be like, whoa, it's packed.
Hundreds of runners.
So it's always good to be aware of, that things might be going on through the end of September.
Yes.
You also offer, because there's a lot of, the school department is doing more half days to do professional development for the teachers. So on those half days, the rec department is offering what you guys call a half day of play.
Yes, it's a program we came up with a handful of years ago, and it's a great day to provide families with some services if they don't have someone to watch their kids on a half day. A lot of the kids are getting out at 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's a lot of time to take off for work. So we provide where we pick the kids up in a van and we take them to do all sorts of fun stuff. I know this past half day they went bowling. We go to the movies. We do mini golfing. I know they're going to be going to possibly like laser tag. stuff. The Kingston Collection, I think they have some cool things over there, so we might take a trip over the bridge to take kids to activities. And then I think there's something at the Mashpee Commons that George will be taking to. I think it's one of those mystery rooms.
Yeah, you have to figure things out to get out.
So there's going to be lots of cool activities. So if you are struggling to find care for your children on a half day, we offer it to 4th through 7th graders, and we take them out to lunch. We do an activity. Depending on the weather, we can go outside and go to a playground or the beach. And then we bring them back to the youth center for indoor activities, especially in the wintertime when it gets cold and you can't do those things. They can go inside the game room, use the gym, and then at 4:30 is pickup. It's just a great time for the kids. They really enjoy it.
That's awesome. I think that if I was a kid, I'd be really excited to do the half day of play. You're telling me all about it, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that.
The kids have so much fun, and I think in the past when I used to be involved with it, I had just as much fun as the kids, and I think if we as employees are showing our passion for things and how much fun we're having, it translates over to the kids. So
definitely.
When we used to do like laser tag, we'd have so much fun with the kids, and they would just have such a blast, and it was just a great day for us as well. So it's a great program, and if you're looking for that sort of service, we have it available.
That's very cool. The last thing that we want to touch on briefly is there's a open space and recreation. I might not be calling it the right thing, but there's a survey that you're looking for people to take, and it's on the homepage of the town's
so the
website.
open space survey has finished up, but the town is also doing a comprehensive athletic field study.
Okay.
And that's the survey that's available now on the town website, and we are looking for anyone that uses recreation, fields and land and stuff like that to fill out the survey to let us know, what you use and what you like and don't like. And there's tons of questions that will help guide us make really important decisions in the future of this town to help improve tennis courts or basketball courts or softball, baseball fields. If we need more fields, and where can we put them? And just trying to figure out over the next 20 years of this town of what we need and how much we need to make sure that we're servicing not only the children of our town but also the adults. And that includes pickleball and disc golf and anything else that might be on trend that might progress to more need in the future. We need to kind of know all those things to make sure that we're going to be making the right decisions for the residents.
Yeah, it's important for planning for the future to know what people are looking for. So if you're a user of the tennis courts or the soccer fields or the baseball diamonds, anything like that, go onto the town's website, right on the homepage under notifications, and you can find the link right to the survey, and it only takes a couple minutes.
Yeah, I believe there's about a week left to take that, so we'd love to get that response back. The town hired a firm, Weston and Sampson, to collect all the data and give us a report of their findings of the fields and everything else. And we're getting near the home stretch where we'll get that report back, and it'll be right around time when there's going to be decisions made for improvements and going to CPC and trying to get money from them, and so it's a really important time, and we'd love to get that feedback.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, John, so much for joining us today.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. Our guest today is John Gleason. He's the Assistant Recreation Director. Now let's find out what's happening around town in today's community calendar. The Wings of Freedom Tour will be hosted at the Barnstable Municipal Airport this weekend on the East Ramp. The event is great for all ages to explore bomber aircrafts inside and out. The walkthrough tours will be held on the 15th from 2 to 5 p.m., and the tours on the 16th and the 17th are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. No reservations are needed for the tours. Ticket prices for the tour is $15 for adults and $5 for children 12 and under. For more information, please visit www.cfdn.org. The Cape Cod Arts and Culture Expo, formerly known as the Multicultural Festival, is happening this weekend at Cape Cod Community College. The event will kick off Saturday morning at 10 a.m. in the Tilden Arts Center with the Parade of Flags and continue throughout the day until 4 p.m. For more information, please visit www.capecod.edu/culture. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back Monday with another great show for you. We will find out how the start of the school year is going with Superintendent of Schools Meg Mayo Brown, as well as 4C's President John Cox. I hope you all have a great weekend. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Beal.